Metal Tastic.
What it do, YouTube? It's your boy from the Tastic, back at it, like a crack at it. Always here like a bad habit. How you living? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you living? Shout out to the naysayers. Shout out to the haters. Shout out to the Lulus, a couple screws miss. I said I'm hot. I'm on fire. I'm never missing. We are 18 days away from the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've been blessed, like many other fellow content creators, Ubisoft partners, to be able to showcase and broadcast some early gameplay, right? This is not the video for it right now, as I don't have it yet, but just a PSA. I'll be able to stream / record the game starting March 18th, which is a Tuesday, right? So it's 16 days away. As y'all currently know, well, some of y'all, if not everybody, I'm currently doing a playthrough of all Assassin's Creed from AC1 up until Syndicate. At least for me, I've played Origins the most out of the RPG 3, but I don't know, it didn't captivate me like the older ones, right? And me revisiting the older ones, I'm like relearning a lot, right? Like literally, like I'm like, dang, I'm currently on Assassin's Creed 3. I'm like, yo, the movements is so fast right now. Like parkour is so fast. Like, and you refined. Sorry, I knocked my table. You refined that passion you had for a series, especially because Assassin's Creed, like the franchise, is one of my favorite franchise, right? But yeah, I'm like, it is reinvigorating my love for the franchise, and it never left. You know, like I said, I didn't really play the RPG 3 that much, but I followed the story. I know the story. I came back playing it full time with Mirage. That's also up on the channel. And Shadows, we finally getting you know, a Japanese Assassin's Creed, and there's a lot of controversy, right? Like, I feel like, why, right? Because if we get into it, right, there's a lot of like fiction within Assassin's Creed as a whole, right? Like, let's really be real. When we see a lot of movies when it comes to Egypt, they have a lot of fair-skinned people. But if we really want to, you know, justify it, there's a lot of dark-skinned people. And I'm not saying like, you know, African American or whatever, or, you know, African, but Egypt is in the continent of Africa, right? So yes, Egyptians are technically African, right? There's no backlash with that, right? Like, I just really don't see what the issue is when it comes to having this game set in Japan and then telling Yasuke's story, because there's been several credible sources that places Yasuke in Japan at the time. And, you know, whether the story is 100%, you know, nonfiction or not, it's a game at the end of the day, right? You play games to have fun. Yes, you love a historical aspect to it, but at the whole, like the bread and butter of it all, at the bare bones, at the foundation of it all, a game is meant to entertain. And y'all sitting there judging this game before y'all even see anything, right? Like, y'all not even playing the story. Like, y'all don't even have the story yet, and y'all sitting there, oh my gosh, oh no, like, come on now, like, let's really be real. Let's really be real, because if we sat there and if it was another Assassin's Creed game and it didn't feature a person of color as one of the main protagonists, y'all would not be crying, bro. Y'all would not be crying, for real, for real. Like, let's really keep it a buck. Let's really keep it a buck. And if y'all disagree with me, y'all can leave the, like, you know, y'all can leave the comments in the comment section and be respectful too, because I'm being real respectful. If y'all don't get, you know, if y'all don't be respectful, instant block and delete. That's how I'm giving it up. There's no time for negativity. If we can't have a conversation as grown people, right? I assume a lot of my audience is grown over the age of 18, right? If we can't have a man to man or man to woman conversation with the ability to agree or disagree on the opinions and be able to see the perspective, then I just can't vibe with it. And you know, that's when I hit y'all with the sayonara signing off. But we're not gonna hit y'all with the sayonara signing off right now, because we're gonna get into this video by my guy, the hidden one. He blessed us with some new Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay. So we're gonna be looking at this, and we're gonna look into it. I'm gonna just offer my opinions as we do it. I don't want to keep y'all here too long, right? But you know, thoughts, reactions, and with no further ado, let's make this video do what it do.
So we finally got a bunch of new exclusive gameplay and information for Assassin's Creed Shadows. From long flowing robes returning, new Yasuke outfits, an in-depth look at afflictions and perks, a new ally in action, and a lot more. Now all of this comes from a series of 3 articles Ubisoft is releasing ahead of the game's launch. The first one focused on PC technical specs, which wasn't that interesting enough to cover in a full video, so I thought I would leave that one out. But the next 2 are the ones worth showing, which are full of exciting details. This video will dive into progression, revealing plenty of new gameplay and information, some of which you might already know about, but now expanded on with even more depth. I'm not just going to read off the article as it's not engaging enough for a video. The article is very insightful, so I will leave a link to it down below. What I want to do though is go over my take on the article while also showing the new gameplay and information. So as always, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button.
Hey, yo,
and with all of that said, let's get...
Hold on.
As always, if you do enjoy this video...
Hey, yo, hidden one, you gonna have to update that, baby, because you got 100K, my guy. You're gonna have to update that.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And with all of that said, let's get right into it. Now first off, I want to touch on how you actually progress in this game. One of the main reveals is how progression is split into 2 main aspects, mastery and knowledge. You may have seen this in a lot of the preview videos by many different creators out there. Since we'll be playing as 2 distinct characters, Nawe a shinobi assassin and Yasuke a samurai, they're both designed with 2 different upgrade paths that reflect their different fighting styles.
So it's essentially you upgrade like how it's been in God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, so it's not really that bad. I just miss the old school, right? The old Assassin's Creed games, right? Like I said earlier, if y'all been following me on my channel, y'all been seeing like you ain't really had to upgrade. Like I've gone through several of the games without really upgrading my health, like, cause I love the game. Like I know how to play it. Like it's like riding a bike. So I'm chugging along, getting back together. Feel me? So yeah.
Mastery points are skill points with a different name. For example, in this new clip, we can see Nawe attempt a double assassination, and of course it does not work, simply because she does not have the skill unlocked. However, once it is unlocked by acquiring the double assassinate ability, which lets her use her Tanto blade as the second blade, she is now able to double assassinate. And you can earn these mastery points by completing quests, side activities, and taking down high level enemies like the Samurai Daisho, who are only found in castles. Another clip I want to show you is this gorgeous looking one. Now first of all, before I play the clip, take a look at Nawe's outfit. That right there is the first time we've seen long flowing traditional robes on our characters since probably Syndicate. I would have said Origins, but I don't really class Bayek's outfit as long flowing robes. If anything, Nawe here kind of reminds me a lot of Arno Dorian from behind. So yeah, this clip is where Nawe shows off the Shadow Piercer ability, which is when Nawe throws her Tanto blade and then dashes forward to stab the enemy, dealing 40% ability damage with each successive strike, and also applying the debuff Vulnerable. This clip is actually the first time we've seen actual proper raw gameplay during the winter season, and it looks pretty good to be fair. Oh, and one last thing about abilities in this article is that they mention some of these abilities are not unlocked through normal progression, which kind of caught me off guard. What they are basically implying is that certain abilities can only be obtained through unique challenges. An example that they mentioned in this article was defeating a mysterious group of shinobi will unlock the final assassination upgrade. This approach reminds me a bit of Odyssey's hidden ability upgrades, but it seems even more fleshed out here. Now a nice feature that they've added is that mastery points can be reset at any time, letting you experiment with different builds instead of just being locked into one path. Now that to me is a great addition, especially if you're somebody who likes to switch up your approach mid-game. Now, when it comes to knowledge, this is different from mastery points. Knowledge represents what the developers call a character's mental growth and experience instead of their physical prowess. This system pretty much ensures that some abilities are not just locked behind experience points, but also require the character to gain wisdom through non-combat activities. So to actually increase your knowledge rank, you can do things like finding lost pages in temples, praying at shrines, performing Kuji-Kiri meditation, which is Naue specific, and also learning kata, which is Yasuke specific. Ubisoft mentions how this ties into the idea of martial arts philosophy. Before mastering an advanced move, a warrior must train in their mind. I do think that this is an interesting approach, as it, encourages exploration, which is definitely needed instead of just grinding combat encounters. Also, in this article, they do tease something endgame related, where they talk about once you reach knowledge rank 6, all the skills in the mastery tree will be available. But the actual big reveal is that a brand new knowledge tree unlocks, adding passive skills to refine your playstyle even further. This means endgame character progression will still feel meaningful instead of just, maxing out a skill tree and then pretty much being done with it. Now, a major section of the article covers gear and equipment, which play a big role in Shadows. But, I'm pretty sure by now we are all familiar with this, especially if you've seen many other videos. So to make this part kind of short,
so everybody's gameplay is going to be different when it comes to this. You can equip up to 2 weapons at once for both characters, including ranged weapons for Yasuke, alongside armor, headgear, and accessories. We ain't using no guns.
Each piece of gear has a level, so keeping your gear upgraded matters. There is also a quality rating. Now, there are 5 quality stats: common, which is the lowest and most basic; uncommon, which is slightly improved upon from common; rare, which is stronger and offers the ability to engrave a second perk at your hideout; epic, which is purple tiered, and this rarity lets you have one of the core stats boosted. And they even mention in this article that if you are lucky, you can find an epic item that actually has stronger elements than a legendary one, which is of course the highest rarity. And that type of gear contains handpicked stats, a gameplay oriented perk, and also an engraving slot. Also, can we just take a moment and appreciate the look of some of these outfits? I mean, this one right here named Samurai Daimyo Armor of Legend just oozes aura. This actually might be my favorite one from what we've seen so far. There's also one named Warden Armor, which reminds me so much of El Tiburon's armor from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This one, which is called Extravagant Kabukimono outfit, again is great. You can genuinely tell that the legendary rarity outfits were designed with a lot of care, and kudos to them in that regard. Personally, I don't think...
I wonder if you're able to customize it. Like, I remember in Hogwarts, right? Like, you were able to essentially wear what you wanted but have the stats from something else. Like, that would be dope.
I'm gonna wear any samurai armor because it looks too bulky in my opinion. I like the more laid back garment style of clothing. Also, interestingly, Ubisoft confirmed that gear will be largely randomized, with lootable chests and enemy drops. However, legendary weapons and armor are placed in specific locations, often locked behind castle targets or special challenges. They also surprisingly listened to feedback from preview events and have now added Yasuke and Naue icons on items looted in the world, so it'll be easier for you to distinguish which gear can be obtained for either character, which is a positive addition. A new addition added into progression is visual customization, and this one comes in the form of a transmog system, which allows you to apply the visual appearance of one item to another.
Yo, I just said this. This feature is unlocked by
building the forge in your hideout and can actually be accessed directly from the inventory menu without needing to spend in-game currency. What I definitely can appreciate is how they've taken the transmog system a step further, especially with weapon customization, allowing you to mix and match parts of different weapons. For example, you can equip the blade of one katana with the guard and handle of another, creating a truly unique kind of aesthetic. And once you customize a gear or a weapon set, you can actually display it inside the gallery inside your hideout. This also unlocks loadouts, making it easy to switch between different equipment configurations based on your preferred playstyle. Now let's go over perks, which is something that hasn't really been discussed much in videos or shown much, but with this article it does go pretty in depth with the perk system, so do kind of pay attention here. Now, perks in this game will let you modify, upgrade, or specialize your equipment in a variety of ways. They mentioned that there are hundreds of perks that can be found throughout the game by looting enemies, completing missions, and by purchasing them from merchants. Some can also be unlocked by constructing the forge in the hideout. Completing specific challenges unlocks unique perks. For example, successfully executing a set number of air assassinations grants a perk that allows you to remove an additional health segment when performing them. Perks can either boost base stats, influence afflictions, which is something I'll talk about very soon, or encourage different playstyles. For example, in this video, we can clearly see Naue attempting an assassination on an enemy with yellow text. next, meaning she cannot kill him from the assassination but is able to damage him. However, you can do something like changing a piece of gear to one where it has a perk that lets you deal more damage whilst assassinating, and as you can see, once equipped, it will now kill the enemy. They mentioned that legendary perks are the rarest and can modify core game mechanics, making them extremely valuable. Now, I want to show you something pretty interesting, and that is Yasuke can do stealth if you actually know what you're doing. For example, in this clip, all you need is a bow, lightweight armor, and just be stealthy. The fact that Yasuke can be prone does help a lot with stealth. I personally would have liked to see him have more tools like smoke bombs or distraction tools. It is a bit odd that he's just relegated to a bow, but stealth does seem very much viable with Yasuke.
I mean,
it's
if
just
you
a lot
know
more
what to
hard
do.
pull off. Also, take a look at this. It appears that we finally got a look at a new ally in action. I'm not sure who she could be, but her ability seems like it causes a sleep affliction to enemies, which is pretty handy for stealth, especially for someone like Yasuke, given that he does not have any reliable tools.
So it's like the
but
Brotherhood.
it also could be a different affliction.
I mean, different than Brotherhood.
And speaking of afflictions, let's talk about them. Afflictions can add debuffs to enemies and work as an alternative to traditional damage buffs. Now, there are 4 main afflictions in the game. The first one is Bleed, which triggers massive additional damage upon build-up. Poison, which deals damage over time and can cause enemies to vomit, creating distractions, so that's pretty different. There's Daze, which temporarily stuns enemies, making them less effective in combat, which is actually the clip that you're watching right now, because the enemy that Yasuke is fighting looks pretty stupid, which is pretty much the entire point of Daze. And the last one is Knockout, which leaves enemies unconscious for a period of time, which is perfect for a non-lethal playthrough. And there we have it. That was the progression article broken down in a way that's much easier to digest, especially for a video format. I didn't want to just read off the whole article word for word because, let's be honest, number one, that would be boring as hell, and number two, it'd be pretty lazy. I'll drop a link down below so you can check out the full article yourself and watch the clips in 4K. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about everything shown so far. Personally, I'm feeling pretty positive. The footage did look good, the information was interesting, and I'm hopeful for what's to come. I just really want this Japanese Assassin's Creed game to be good. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.
So there we have it. We got some new gameplay with the article progression. I've always had an open mind for these Assassin's Creed games, right? Now, whether it adheres to my playstyle or not, you know, it is what it is. But as a franchise as a whole, I enjoy it. Like the lore, the story. There's a couple of things that I feel like they should retcon, right? But neither here nor there. But leave your thoughts, leave your opinions respectfully in the comment section. And if you bangs with me, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 500. With no further ado, you know what to do. Sayonara. Signing off.
Yo, go follow Tastic. Go follow Tastic's Twitch, cuz. That man is crazy.